Surrey's rapid growth has been the talk of the town. But here's the real shocker. Langley's housing prices have now surpassed Surrey's, which kind of begs the question, is Langley's quieter suburban lifestyle really worth the higher price tag? Well, if you've been thinking about moving to Surrey or Langley, you've probably found yourself wondering this very same thing. Well, the answer here might just surprise you, and it could completely change how you see both of these cities. And so today we are going to dive into Surrey and Langley, BC, two cities that are side by side, but offering completely different lifestyles. So whether you're moving here for the first time or you're just considering a change, by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which city has the better fit for your specific lifestyle, your budget, and your future. And we're going to talk about everything from real estate, lifestyle, commuting, and so much more. So stick around, because the city that you choose to call home affects way more than just where you live. It's about being part of a community that fits you. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to share a key insight that most people completely overlook when they're trying to decide between Surrey and Langley. And trust me, this is something you're definitely going to want to know. All right, let's jump in. Now, first up, let's talk about real estate. This is probably the biggest question on your mind. Now, if you've been keeping an eye on the market, you probably remember that Langley used to be the more affordable option. Well, this is no longer the case. Today, Langley's home prices have actually surpassed those of Surrey. In Surrey, the average price for a detached home right now is around $1,509,000. Townhomes, well, they're about $828,000, and condos, they come in at roughly $575,000. Langley, on the other hand, has seen prices climb even higher. A detached home in Langley now averages around $1,633,000. While townhomes are slightly more expensive also, they are at $873,000. And condos, yep, they are also up. They're up to around $606,000. So if you're looking at townhomes or condos, Langley is more expensive. And even detached homes, which used to be more affordable in Langley, have now surpassed that of Surrey. It is a major shift. By the way, really quick, if you're new here, my name is Glen Hopkins, and I create videos all about Canadian real estate and my local market of Surrey and Langley, BC. So if that is something you're interested in, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and that way you're not going to miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Also, if you would like my help with either buying or selling a home here in Surrey or Langley, there is a link in the description box below where you can schedule a call with me. And also, while you're down there, be sure to check out and download the free relocation guide. This is a fantastic resource if you're considering a move to either of these areas. All right, now here's something I've noticed from working with families who've moved to both Surrey and Langley, and that is Langley's suburban charm. It really tends to attract buyers who are looking for more space and a quieter lifestyle. Surrey, on the other hand, it tends to pull folks in who want, to be closer to amenities, transit, and some of those urban conveniences. That said, let's go ahead and dive into the lifestyle differences between Surrey and Langley. Now, Surrey is busy and it's growing very fast. It's already the second largest city in BC, and pretty soon it's actually going to surpass Vancouver. So that said, there is a lot of energy and tons of amenities in Surrey. And Surrey, don't forget, it also has over 200 parks including Crescent Beach, Bear Creek Park, and so many more. So if you love nature, but you still want easy access to, shopping and dining, Surrey has got you covered. There's going to be spots like Guildford Town Center and Central City Mall. These are great for shopping. And if you're a foodie, the food scene in Surrey is as diverse as it gets. You can find just about any type of cuisine that you could possibly be craving. But let's be honest, big city living, it comes with big city problems. There's going to be traffic, crowds, and a faster pace of life. So if you like the hustle and bustle, Surrey is definitely going to be your place. Langley, though, has a completely different feel. It's much more laid back, and it's known for things like its wineries, equestrian culture, and outdoor recreation. So, picture yourself spending a weekend at something like Campbell Valley Regional Park or enjoying a slower pace in a family-friendly neighborhood. Now, it's also important to note that Langley also has a real sense of community, which is a big draw for a lot of families. Oh, and if you love wine, you're going to be in luck because Langley's wineries are pretty famous here. So imagine spending your Sundays sipping on local wine instead of sitting in traffic. It sounds pretty good, right? And let's not forget, Langley's got some solid amenities as well. There's Willowbrook Mall, some boutique shops, and some great local dining options. So it's not as busy as Surrey, but if you're after a small town feel with all of the essentials, Langley might just be more your speed. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to talk about the commuting differences. And there's one detail about Langley's upcoming SkyTrain extension that could really create some big changes here. So on that note, let's go ahead and talk about transportation because commuting can really make or break your day. Now, Surrey has a major advantage with the SkyTrain. There's the Expo line, which connects Surrey directly to Vancouver, which makes it super convenient if you work downtown. And Surrey also has a solid bus system and easy access to major highways like Highway 1, Highway 99, and Highway 17. But with all of the growth, traffic congestion is becoming a real issue, especially during the rush hour. Ever felt like you spent more time parked on the highway than actually driving? Well, Surrey's got that. But, at least you do have the option of the SkyTrain if you don't feel like sitting in traffic. Langley, on the other hand, doesn't have the SkyTrain just yet, but the extension is expected to be there by 2028. So for now, most people rely on their cars. There's Highway 1, which runs through Langley. So, commuting to Vancouver or other areas, it isn't too hard, but you will definitely spend more time on the road compared to Surrey. That SkyTrain extension, though, is going to be a real game changer for Langley in the near future. So, if you depend on public transit or you want easier access to Vancouver, Surrey's probably the best bet for you right now. But once the SkyTrain hits Langley, things could look very different. All right, let's talk a little bit about jobs because that is a big consideration for a lot of people. Now, Surrey is a hub for industries like tech, construction, retail, and healthcare. The city's rapid growth means that job opportunities, they are booming, especially in construction and also in real estate. Major employers like Fraser Health, the Surrey School District, and the City of Surrey, they provide a ton of jobs. And if you're into tech, well, Surrey's definitely on the rise for tech companies as well. Now, looking at Langley, Langley has a more suburban and rural economy. Major industries there, they include things like agriculture, retail, and light manufacturing. So it doesn't have quite as many job opportunities as Surrey, but with the rise of remote work, more people are finding Langley an attractive option, since they don't need to commute every day into the city. And from what I've seen with clients, people who work remotely, they tend to prefer Langley, while those commuting into the city on a regular basis, they lean more towards Surrey. Okay, so if you've got a family, schools is probably going to be a top priority for you. Now, Surrey is one of the largest school districts in all of BC, with over 80 public schools and a lot of private options as well. It also is home to Simon Fraser University, KPU or Kwantlen Polytechnical University, and there's even a future campus coming for UBC. So Surrey's definitely a big player when it comes to education. Now, Langley, on the other hand, Langley has a strong public school system as well. It has over 50 public schools and some great private options. There's Trinity Western University, which is a well-known Christian liberal arts university. It is also in Langley, okay? Langley schools are also known for being very community-focused, which is great if you have younger kids. Now, speaking of community, when it comes to community and safety, Surrey and Langley, they're pretty different. Surrey's a big, diverse city. And like any large city, there are some neighborhoods that are safer than others. North Surrey, for example, it sees a higher crime rate, while South Surrey and Cloverdale are much more family friendly and do indeed have lower crime rates. Langley has that close-knit kind of suburban feel. The crime rates here are generally lower and the neighborhoods are generally going to be found to be quieter. So if you're after a more peaceful, family-oriented environment, Langley might be more up your alley. Now here's something you might not have considered, and that is how Langley's upcoming SkyTrain extension will impact home values. Is Langley about to become the next real estate hotspot? I've got some very surprising insights on that, which you definitely don't want to miss out on if you're considering either of these two cities. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my next video, where I'm going to break down exactly how the SkyTrain is going to change the game for Langley and why you might want to act now before home prices change forever.